Welcome everyone to the ABA conference finals and finals for the 2028 season. We're going to start today by taking a look at the new playoff format and talking about the four teams and how they came here because they have some very interesting stories over the last few seasons. So we'll start with the defending champions and Utah. Utah has an interesting roster. They changed up their entire real lineup from last season, losing three starters in Dallas Moore, Marcus McPherson, and Toomaj Smith. The emergence of LeBron James, the free agent signing of Marcus Trustis, and the mid-year acquisition of Marcus Buckner give this team a new look feel with a lot of the same veterans from last year's championship squad. Um, if you look at this team for a team coming off a finals win, there are so many one-year guys on this team. I mean, returning from last year's championship run, I think is one, two, three, literally just three players in a season. I mean, a complete turnaround of the roster, but they're back. It was an efficient run. I mean, completely new look team. It's going to be an interesting um, round, and their path this season has been quite interesting. They were the third best team in a very, very tough Western Conference with two 70-win teams. However, neither of the 70-win teams are here, as Utah did beat Anaheim. And we look at the other real big surprising series was Las Vegas going down against Denver. Denver currently the team that Utah's against, the other Kingslayer, so to speak. Um, and this Las Vegas team was very solid, and frankly, the fact that Denver beat them is shocking in my opinion. But here we go with this Denver team. They made the finals, I believe, 2 seasons ago. They've been consistent since then. They're led by a very strange, no real superstar team. They have one of the best passers in league history, in Gary Beasley. A great shooting guard duo, but neither is really an elite shooting guard. Or even role player like Rouse and DD Savage aren't elite. Their big three is their top players by a mile in my book. And frankly, to say that Provitt, Weber, or Corona Alvarez are superstars, it would be highly misleading. They're just very good at what they do in particular. And that's how Denver's gone this far, which blows my mind. They really are underdogs. And in the East here, we have a team that's been up and down the last 2 seasons, but Detroit, they had to be a favorite to get here. They went all in this offseason. GM of the Year potential candidate. They added Taj Smith, who has a chance to go to the finals against his old team last season. Um, and it's just a very solid roster across the board. This might be the best team Anura's ever had, and he's led his team to the finals twice. Unlike last year when they went to the finals and everyone thought that they were going to get swept, I could see this team winning potentially in 5 or 6 games. It's a very solid roster. Thunderbirds emerged as a real shutdown player for them. They added a lot of depth to the bench as a whole. The team is better. So it's going to be an interesting dynamic, and I want to see how they do. They've had a pretty interesting series, but nothing chaotic. They have the second seed. Miami was the first seed, so also nothing crazy here. Miami's succeeded despite some injuries in the playoffs, but it's a very deep, talented roster. They're one of the best teams in the league. Um, anyway, people are challenging Thunderbird's value here. You know, he's a better real life player than he is stat wise, in my book. But you look at guys like McPherson Thompson who've just declined greatly since entering the league. And this is going to be a very strange series with a team that's made up of mostly young stars against a team that's led by a handful of aging superstars. And that's really the case on both sides. So anyway, what we're going to do is we're just going to live sim by people in chat. So whoever in chat first claims the first live sim gets it. Because we got one from each conference. Detroit will get game one, and we'll just go back and forth. All right. So Detroit getting game one. All right. So at the end of one, Miami is leading pretty sizably. It's a 7-point game. Um, largely due to Jake Kumar and McPherson's strong play. We'll see how it goes going into halftime. Halftime, it's a very close game, only 6 points. And it's basically Jay Kumar showing down against a very well-rounded Detroit team. And this third quarter is not going the way that Detroit wanted. They fell back a while, but they came back pretty good. And midway through the fourth, they're only down 14 points. It's realistically possible for them to come back, but I don't know if they'll be able to do it against a very deep Miami team. Miami's bench doesn't drop off much, so it's not looking too good. I'm going to call it now. Yeah, we're looking at Detroit losing game one. Obviously not what you want to see if you're Detroit going down, but Jay Kumar and Ray Hall too much. Also had an interesting career for Miami. I mean, he was just a role player last season. He emerged on a very young, talented team, which is he's just another part of the puzzle for them. So anyway, next game we'll be going up to um, going over to Denver to see how they did. So in game one, Utah would take game one. I want to ask if Luke Brinker can post the game results as we go, so we can try to keep this efficiently. Yeah, he can. So we'll be going in and out. I do just want to point out, perhaps in my opinion, one of the most underrated players in league history is Gary Beasley. I know obviously in this case they lost despite 30 points from Kobe off the bench, but and that's largely due here to Marcus Buckner. Buckner with a 41-point game. That's insane. I mean, this dude, he's played on. We gotta take a moment of appreciation for Marcus Buckner. He's played on horrible teams. This is his first real shot at a title, and he's still an absolute force on a stacked team. That's just what Marcus Buckner is. Um, and I did want to, real quick while we're here, touch on Gary Beasley. As I said, he's one of the best passers in league history, consistently up over 9 assists a game. It's unfortunate that he hasn't had any real playoff success, but we'll see how he does this series. All right. Um, all right. Next up, we're going to do live, and we're going to go over to Denver. All right. Into the first. Into the first, it is a game. They are down 29 points. No thanks to Corona Avarice, who's really struggling. Marcus Buckner is just putting them out in this. Let's see what it is at half, but yeah, it's a complete blowout. Marcus Buckner just uncontested here in 18 minutes, over 20 points. Yeah, it's a 25-point blowout with Buckner playing just 24 minutes and scoring 26 points. I mean, it's just not even fair. This team is so good playing against an 8th seed, and gave it their all, but they're just not as well-rounded a team. Notice LeBron with the 18, 6, and 6. It's just a big imbalance there. Oh, yeah, absolute shit talk going out on now in chat between BD and Luke. So now we're going to go take a look, and we'll see how the other side did. We're seeing Miami pick up a win. This might be very anticipated Miami-Utah series. Did not go well. 23 points from Ray Hall. Ray Hall has been a big part of their team in this series. Yeah. So here we go. We're going to do game 3. I'm going to give game 3 to Detroit here. So maybe they'll win something. We're really just looking for some sort of upset. Here it's an 8-point game at the end of the first. And at halftime, it's a 5-point lead for Detroit. Detroit might be the first underdog to win here, thanks to the back of Derrick Jones. Derrick Jones carrying Detroit. And they're still in the lead, deep in the fourth here. Big win for Detroit, led on the back of Derrick Jones with 29 points. Jacob Anuro with 12 assists is the primary point forward. I mean, this was just a huge win. They really needed it, taking the home court here. We'll see if okay, Denver did not do the same. So Denver versus Utah going into an elimination game here. And it just was not an overall great performance. DD Savage got hurt midway through the game, finishing with 0 points. Yeah, they just really struggle. They need to get good and quick. So we'll see. We are going to sim the elimination game in Denver. I know it's not probably going to be a close game, but it's fair, so that's what we're going to do. Denver is actually leading at the end of the first. We'll see if that holds true. Midway through the second, it's a close game. So in the third quarter, Denver does lead. Denver does have a chance here. We'll take a quick look why. Kobe Bryant is willing his team here. 19 points off the bench. He is single-handedly showing down against Marcus Trustis. In the third quarter, they are down 6. Now in the fourth. Trustis having a huge game. Kobe's cooled down, but Cephas Moore, who I think was a former teammate of Trustis, I'm not positive. Wow. 1 point game with 2 minutes left. Seth Ginn had just made the ball, so this means Denver with the ball. All right. Denver. Gary Beasley misses the dunk. Rebound Ginn. Petrie from mid-range. Weber has the ball. Brian Weber makes the score on a Beasley assist. Rockets lead, minute 50 left. Trustis misses a 3. Corona then misses. Petrie turns the ball over. Denver has a chance to put the game here. Corona Alvarez on a Gary Beasley dime. Beasley having a big second half. And then the ball stolen from Seth Ginn. Brian Weber with the dunk. And Denver might have a win here. We might be looking at a major upset. Seth Ginn would hit a clutch 3 to keep them in the game. Weber turns it over. Oh, and just like that, just as I said it. All right, so Denver, to stay alive, needs to score. At 32 seconds left, and one is what occurred on the last play, actually. So Trustis, no. Buckner fouled immediately after. Weber makes free throws, missed one, in with the ball, 23 seconds. All right. So it's a 1 point game, 23 seconds left. I'm guessing Utah's going to shoot quickly and give Denver a chance to get the ball back. And they're probably going to score. I'm going to guess probably with Walker Cham or LeBron. I don't know. I'm going to actually, in this case, I'm guessing Walker Cham because he's out there instead of LeBron. Wow. They lost on free throws. That's crazy. Congratulations, Denver, with the win here. Just free throwing it out like Gary Beasley. Yeah. Yep. They held on. Now let's look what happened out east. Miami would take a win here. So both series are now 3-1s. They took the win thanks to TJ Kosher. TJ Kosher and Jeremiah Fears. Real quick, I'm just going to fix this while I'm here. Isn't that? There we go. Now we don't gotta look at that no more. Okay. So, the live game does go to Detroit here. I think everyone here wants Detroit to win, right? So they are up 9 points start of the second. Clarkson is hurt with a plantar fasciitis. Richard Williams is in. That's actually a pretty sizable loss, but it looks like Taj Smith is picking up most of his minutes on the end of the line. So we'll see how that goes. Detroit is leading throughout the second quarter and into the third. Detroit with a big lead. Big reason here is Jacob Anura, of course, having a great game. Just doing Anura things. Big lead for Detroit. Yeah, Detroit with a nearly, I think it's actually a 41-point win. That's insane. Jacob Anura with a 37-point performance. Another big game for Derek Jones, who's really stepped up the last couple games. And even Taj with a 5-block, 15-rebound performance. This is what they were expecting. This is what they needed. So, all right, did Denver survive? Denver survived. We are going to 2 game 6s. That is crazy. Denver would win by 4. They, they might come back from down 3. Oh my God. Denver, the team that just don't sleep on, with a complete team effort defeating the King, who failed to score 10 points. That's crazy. No. We're looking at a 3-0 choke here. 3-0 choke potentially for Utah. So we're going to go to Sim, and let's all be real. We want Denver to upset Utah here, right? Nobody wants JJ to get another ring. I don't want JJ to get another ring. Well, it looks like BBGM doesn't want JJ to get another ring. Come on, Denver. Denver holding the line. Lead still into the third quarter. And into the fourth, Denver up big. Oh my God, we could be going to game 7. Game 7. I don't know why it just skipped, but it did. And it looks like Detroit got eliminated. So Detroit got eliminated here with a hard loss. Jay Kumar putting up a huge stat line in this series. A horrible game for Apex Penny. And a bad end to the series for Derek Jones, but Pierce did light up finally at the end there. So we'll see. All right. So we have game 7, potentially a reverse sweep. Oh my God, that is so juicy. Woo. Potentially a reverse sweep here, guys. I don't think you realize how special that is. As Corona Avarice's agent, I just want to say this is exactly what I was hoping would eventually happen. I think to this point, no pack have won, but I think we will be entering the first cap playoffs, right? Either way, yeah. We are now guaranteed to have a creative player will win a championship. Who will it be? Corona Avarice, Marcus Trustis, or Jay Kumar as the predominant cap? Let's find out. Going to game 7. Here we are. 8th seed coming back against 3 seed defending champion. Utah is up most of the first quarter. Going into halftime, we'll see. It is a 2-point game at the start of the third quarter here. That is insane. In the fourth quarter, Denver is leading. Are you guys seeing this? This is unprecedented. Denver could come back from down 3 against the defending champions. This would be the greatest series in league history. Going back maybe to the Unura versus Vaughnville playoffs. I mean, this is an incredible series. I don't think we've ever seen anything like this. Denver's just such an underdog team here. And they are up 5. 7 minutes left. 4, 3. They're up 2. Tie game. They're up 2. This is so close. This is so close. Oh my God, this is so close. 2 minutes, 48 seconds left. Denver up 4. Oh my God, they could hold on. LeBron with the missed layup. Didi gets the rebound. Didi misses. Corona Avarice gets it. Privet misses. Cham finally gets it. Buckner with the miss. Hasbro gets the rebound. Buckner fouls. Privet makes the 3. LeBron misses. I think that's game. I think it's game. I think Denver did it. Oh my God. This is game. This is an early game. The game is over, right? It's just free throws. It's going to come down to free throws here. Yep. They missed the three. Wow. Wow. What an insane series. Denver comes back from a 3-0 reverse sweep in the conference finals as the 8th seed on the defending champion. What an absolute meltdown. You look at Marcus Trustis shooting just 6 of 12, LeBron James 3 of 8. I've never seen a playoff meltdown. Look at that game from Marcus Buckner. I mean, this is an all-time great player, and he's going here against a defensive-oriented underdog team. He shoots 2 of 17. That's the series right there. Meanwhile, you look at this defensive team led by Brian Weber, who had an absolutely amazing game, and you look at the player of the game, in my opinion, is 7 blocks and 2 steals coming from Corona Alvarez. What an absolutely awesome series. Provo is a huge addition. Brian Weber is a top-tier star. He deserves Man of the Year, in my opinion. We'll be doing Man of the Year voting later today. What an absolute moment for the ABA. And now we look at this final series, Miami against Denver. I think everyone wanted these two teams that built through the draft, their homemade teams. I think everyone wanted to see this matchup. I have Miami in 6. I think Denver might be able to take a couple, but it's going to be an interesting series. So, are you guys ready? Let's take a go. All right, going through game 1, it is back and forth with Denver leading. Denver is leading through the second. Denver really pulling away here in the third, and Miami is roaring back with a strong run. It was Burleson that led the run. And that run, it doesn't look like Denver is going to recover. Oh, maybe a recovery from Denver here. Jay Kumar with the missed 3. The 4-point game. Denver has the ball. Provett would hit the shot. Down 2. McPherson hits it. Kobe misses. Corone with the board. Provett misses. Kumar gets the board. That might be game right there. Axel misses the go through. Oh, wow. Wow, a turnover. Did not expect that to happen. Provett with the miss. And McPherson Thompson has it. That's got to be game. Corone Alvarez fouls Kumar to the line. Provett hits it. That's the game. What a close game. This game came down to just the great offensive play of McPherson Thompson putting up 33 points. He has declined since his rookie year, but he is still the centerpiece of this Miami team. Him and Kumar are a great 1-2 punch. What a great series to start. Okay, so this is going to put us now right into, game 2. All right, let's see if we can if Miami will keep their home court lead here. Denver is up through the first so far. Denver did lead for a lot of last game. It was a lot closer than I expected. Looks like Miami's going to hold on to the lead for most of the game so far. They've been up by a few baskets. Yeah, I think Miami's just going to hold out. Yeah, Miami just held out, having the lead since the 5-minute mark, just held it. Corona Alvarez only shot 1 attempt, missed. And you look at this from a team standpoint, Denver's very team-oriented. With the exception of one player off their bench, nobody scored over 15 points, and you just aren't going to have a winning finals performance like that. That's one of the downsides to not really having a true number 1 scorer. And that's what we're seeing here is McPherson Thompson, even though he's struggling, Jay Kumar is able to come in and be their true number 2 they need. Ray Hall is still stepping up. He's having a huge playoffs, almost putting up a triple-double. Ray Hall's having an unheard-ofly good playoffs. And on the opposite end, Apex Penny is having an unbelievably bad playoff series. So here we go into game 3. Will Denver pick one up now that they're at home? And going through the first, it's a complete blowout. Miami is just way ahead, holding the lead. It's a 20-point lead here. I think it might be done. We'll see if Denver even gets within a couple baskets here. We're just simming through it, looks like, though. Yeah, I'm calling it a huge win for Miami, just keeping the lead the whole time. Great play from McPherson Thompson. Ray Hall had a solid game as well. And Denver, they got to be looking at disappointment again, as the exception of Brian Weber, no real great offensive nights. Even a great performance from Crone Avarice offensively by his standards, it isn't really that much. I mean, you look at the defensive play by Avarice, who had 6 blocks, 6 steals with 12 rebounds. But they really need a true number one there. Provitt's really struggling in this series, and struggling from Gary Beasley as well. Meanwhile, we look here, and it's just such a team effort. It's going to be interesting to see who is Finals MVP in this group here. All right, so Denver, they're down 0-3. If any team can come back, it is this Denver squad. So we'll see if they can try a historic comeback, but it's not looking too good here. They're down quick. Miami might be able to pull out a sweep here with. Yeah, it's just not even close. Just the entire game, Miami led. Jay Kumar with a huge game. Yeah, let's see who won Finals MVP. We'll do a quick award show. Then the awards will be posted online. We're also going to do the lottery right now and take a quick look at the draft. So, viewing the season summary, Jay Kumar, the first Cap to win a championship, Finals MVP. Congratulations! Nothing better than I can say there. Jay Kumar, his owner, his agent, is Sankumar, who goes by Jay Kumar a lot in the community nowadays. He's a mod over in YSYG. He's a great dude. Big part of the CAP program development in ABA history. Well-deserved championship here. One of the best caps to do it. And not even putting up that boosted stat line. Congratulations to Cold Dog and Las Vegas. Jacob and Newer had a great series. The first time we've ever had 270 win teams in a conference. Unbelievable. Ty Jackson continues to be the defensive centerpiece of not just his team, but the league. And seeing him come in third in such a competitive finals race. Josh Wade also still being a force. And Tall Smith finally living to his potential in Detroit is nice to see. Congratulations to the Cap, TJ Kosher, on winning Sixth Man of the Year. And congratulations again to Jay Kumar for Jameel Ford being Most Improved Player over in Kansas City. I think that's Kansas City. Dr. J would carry Boston to their first playoff appearance in years. And he is easily one of the best rookies in league history and a future megastar. A pretty stacked draft class, in my opinion, here, with Dr. J, Wilt, Lagello, Bill Russell, and Soek all having great seasons. But this also might be one of the craziest seasons from defensive performance that we've ever seen. I mean, Paul Smith, an MVP candidate, was dominant defensively. Ty Jackson was an MVP candidate, dominant defensively. Crone Avarice put up crazy numbers. Jake King averaging over 4 steals a game. Some crazy defensive seasons. And it's really nice to see that the league's become such a defensive fortitude. Now, we do have a couple of retirements here that'll be voted on for Hall of Fame entry, with Ray Taylor retiring and Colton Coleman, along with Taylor Deutschman, who's a 2-time Sixth Man of the Year. And Kinley Johnson is also retiring after playing several seasons, some worthy of note. But nothing huge here when we look at retirees. Colton Coleman, probably the biggest one, leaving Dallas after several disappointing years. I would say that there's a chance if a true super team forms potentially in Vegas, he might come out of retirement. We'll have to see there and see if anything big occurs. And shout out to potential GM of the Year candidate, M Process, who had an absolutely tremendous season, bringing Houston back. It's going to be interesting to see where that award goes this year. And shout out to Matt Pitts for making third-team All-NBA at age, 42 now? Well, 42 now. Now we're going to do the draft lottery. And this is the new draft lottery format for the 20 teams. So the 20 teams that didn't make the playoffs. Now, if we look at this draft is a pretty great draft led by David McGillen Jr., who wants to go to Carolina. That is his primary number one destination. It's going to be interesting to see. Now, after him, Giddings, who's out with an injury, could potentially be number 2. But my personal surefire bet, I would say either Urban Miles for Al Roberts, Gus Baker will go number 2. This is a stacked draft. As long as you end up in the top 5, you should be fine. So we'll get to see where these guys go here. And if we look at the lottery, start it up. So the first 3 falling in order, going to Cincinnati, Tampa Bay, and San Diego via Seattle. This is actually Seattle's first time not making the playoffs, despite having had a tumultuous time so far. So next up, the 17th pick goes to Fort Worth, followed by Anaheim via San Francisco. 70-win team picking at pick 16. Probably not as great as if they're picking at pick 11. Next up, we'll pick 15. We'll go to St. Louis, the cursed franchise if I've ever seen one. Lancaster will land pick 15, followed by pick 14 going to New Jersey. This is via Kansas City. Kansas City still regretting probably making that Steve Rice move, but ultimately not as high as you'd think. Next pick goes over to Flint. Flint picking up this pick to add another running mate to Moda and so I believe I kept it on play, and here we are with the results. That's pretty funny. Keeping on play is not my best moment. But Carolina picking up the 3rd overall pick, and pick number 1 going to New Orleans. Congratulations. Well deserved. They're a pretty solid team. It's not like they were blatantly tanking. It's actually really good, in my opinion, to see Edmonton, who blatantly tanked, getting pick 5. I like seeing New Jersey not getting the highest pick. It's good to know that Pittsburgh's odds still aren't going to be positive, even when they don't own the pick. And Montreal with a pair of with their 3 firsts getting pick 6, pick 9, I believe, 8, 6, 8, and 11. So good draft potentially for Montreal. Anderson Duffy getting the 2nd overall pick. They'll get to add a legitimate star. With Harold Maven, we'll see how they do with their 4th or 5th GM now. They have a solid core and could be potentially great this season. I'm not too worried about them long term. So see, it's going to be a pretty loaded draft. My prediction: 1, Anderson Duffy will probably, or 1 going to New Orleans will probably be Gus Baker or Giddings. I see McGillen making it 3, or they trading up. It's going to be interesting to see how that happens. But since none of the teams tanking, McGillen will not be declining his draft. It's going to be an interesting draft. My first cap prediction is Alec Kotov going at 4 to New Jersey. Why do I want that to happen? Because I don't want New Jersey to get better, not because I think it's a realistic possibility. I think they're probably actually going to take Kurt Anthony or Wes White, but we'll see when we get there. Yeah, we're going to take a look at the potential free agent class, and we're going to pop off here. So the upcoming free agent class is going to be pretty stacked with guys like Karl Anthony Towns likely testing free agency. There's a chance that he gets a 2-year renewal. I'd say that it's more or less likely that either him or Nobby will test free agency if they can't get a max contract from Kentucky. Realistically, we could also potentially see Apex, who had a miserable playoff series, testing free agency as he gets more money. And I think from a cap perspective, it's going to be interesting to see if Julius Kling, Julian Clarkson, Trustis, or Kumar test free agency. I also see almost no way in which Swaggy X stays put, and George Moss might also be tempted to leave after a disappointing time so far in Cleveland. And playoff hero McPherson Thompson is a complete wild card. It's going to be interesting to see there. So thank you guys. It was a great playoffs. Congratulations to Jay Kumar and our boys in Miami. B. Kinney deserves it. Congratulations, you guys deserve your championship. I know Jay getting a lot of the credit here, but it's a team effort. Axel getting it, TJ Kosher getting it. A great series. I'm so happy for you guys. I couldn't be more happy with the team getting it than you guys. Go check out RB96 support Kinney, and thank you everyone, and have a safe weekend.